Hundreds.
Okay, we're about to go over that, and Cody, this should be better, okay? Why was it so bad? Okay, well this is just going to be like today's lesson, tomorrow's lesson, and then review, and quiz, okay? So it shouldn't be too bad. So Mike, what did you say about place values?
Ones, tenths, hundreds.
Where does the ones go?
The first.
Where's the first?
Right here or right there?
It's actually right here. So go ahead and write this in your notes. And Mike, I understand why.
It's already in our notes.
Huh?
It's already in our notes.
It's already in it? Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mike. So, does everyone see the decimal point right here?
Yeah.
Mike, I understand why you were confused and you thought this was the ones because it's the first line. But in accordance with the decimal point, this is actually the ones place. And where do we say 10 millions? Is that right here? Okay. So that's already filled in for you. Now, yes, Cody.
Tenths is behind your one.
You said tenths?
Yes. Yeah.
Right here? That's right. Okay. So, this is what Cody just said. The tenths go right here, but I'm actually going to fill that in just a little bit, okay?
Oh,
So, you don't have to erase it. You don't have to erase it because you're going to write it again. But we're going to fill in these spots over here, okay? So imagine numbers above these lines. What is this place? Tens. Tens. Darn it. So go ahead and write tens. What comes next? What goes right here? Hundreds. So go ahead and write this in. And someone besides Cody, I appreciate your enthusiasm and your participation. AJ? Thousands right here. Oh, this is hard to write on sideways because it likes to rotate whenever I turn it.
There's a trick.
A lock button.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna need to have it unlocked in a minute. Kaylon, do you know what's right here?
The 10,000s.
What?
Right here.
Oh, yeah. Well, he already said it.
Yeah. 10,000s.
Just give me another.
Okay.
The next one, mark two, is 100,000.
100,000, that's right. 10,000s, 100,000s. And we already have sort of a hint, right, for what's coming next because we see this.
There's a typo on our sheet.
Is there?
Yeah.
What's it say?
More lines.
Yeah.
That has more lines than we have
Yeah,
plus lines.
because it's.
Josh, look at this.
Oh,
Hey,
can I see that real quick?
anybody else got a pencil?
1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. Oh, weird. Okay. So this has more lines. Okay, let's ignore these three.
Yeah. More.
You want to fill them?
Yeah.
Okay. And hold on, Cody. I'm sorry. I'm going to fill in the next few. So what goes right here then?
The millions.
Right. 1 millions. Or just millions.
What? Oh,
My cousin's a millionaire.
Whoa. That's pretty cool. I hope he shares. Kaylon, do you know what goes right here? If we're following this pattern where we've got tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones.
I ain't come out. Man, this is annoying.
You,
Hold on.
what goes right here? I heard it. Who said that? 10 millions. Yeah,
10 mil.
10 mil.
1 mil.
What does your cousin do?
He has a mansion in his private jet.
Whoa. Really? Dang.
I
Okay.
have to write it twice.
That's awesome. Does he live close?
Yes.
What goes right here? Jaden. What goes right here? After 10 millions. 100 millions. Perfect.
I know what goes next. What goes next?
Okay, Mike, you can do the next one, then I'm gonna have Cody finish us with the last two.
Billion! Billion!
Billion.
See, it stops.
Right?
You're right. It
Right.
stops after 100 million.
Okay, so yeah, don't worry about writing this in, but you're probably not gonna have to deal with
Why they ain't cancel
these
school today?
spaces. Huh?
Because it wasn't slick enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Missouri
And
did it all.
Cody, where's this? 10 billions,
100 billion.
then 100 billions.
I
Okay.
don't know after that.
And then what?
And after that, it would be trillion.
Trillion. That's right. Okay, so I'm not gonna fill in the last one because you guys don't have it on your sheet, and we're
A
not.
trillion has 12 zeros.
Does it? That's a lot.
I feel like you just flipping some. You know, 'cause
I know you don't have these two spaces on yours, right? I don't.
Excuse me?
I'll have to fix that on there.
A trillion has 12 zeros.
That's a lot. Okay, so Cody, since you remember this lesson so fondly from, is it elementary school? Isn't Abe Lincoln Elementary?
Yeah.
Okay, what goes right here?
Tenths.
Tenths. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, the one with the THs.
TH is at the end. That's right. THS. Oh, don't know how to write an H. Okay, and then what comes? What's right? What's going to be right here?
Hundreds.
Hundredths.
Thousandths.
That's right. Hundredths. Thousandths. Bless you. Thousand.
Look at you made a real word.
And Daisha, you know what the last one is? What is it? You weren't? It looked like it. Somebody besides Cody? Can you figure out what the last one is? Kaylin, do you know the last one? It's following the same pattern as this did, but it's just going in the opposite direction. So here we have 10, 100, 1,000.
it ain't gonna be no million.
No, it goes 10, 100,000. What's after the thousands?
Honey,
10,000s. So this is going to be 10,000th. Okay? 10,000ths. What?
nothing.
10,000ths. Make sure you are not,
Thousandths.
Mike.
Yeah.
Don't speak out, please. Make sure you have the THS. That makes it a completely different number from just having an S. Yeah. Everything but these. I'll just erase these so it doesn't confuse you. Okay. So you should have all this written down, okay? So do you remember what like place value actually means?
Nope.
So if I have a 5 in the ones place, that's like having 5 $1 bills.
50, 20, 25, 30.
Okay. 5 in the ones place is having like 5 $1 bills. But if I move that 5 right here, this is like having 5 $10 bills. 5 $10 bills is like having $50. Hold on.
So
Hold on.
Abraham Lincoln has a lot
Mike.
of names.
Wait,
Hi, Alex. You are.
you need to speak out. Listen. You don't listen.
Alex. You are right there. Yep. I forgot your binder was out. Okay. So when we see the 5 in the tens place, it's worth 50. Okay? Because it's in the tens place. 5 times 10 is 50, right? Or having 5 $10 bills is way better than having 5 $1 bills, right? It's the same idea. If I move the 5 to right here, we might look like Mike's cousin, right? We're a millionaire now because we have 5 $1 million bills. Okay? Does this make sense? That's, yeah, that's true. However, if we move the 5 over here on the right side of the decimal point, do you know what this is? Like money value, do you know what that's like? If I'm writing it out, what's the value of that?
5 cents.
5 cents. So hundredth means, or 500ths is a portion of within that 100. Okay? So depending on where your numbers are, that really, really changes the value of the number itself. okay? And then on your note sheet you have, and I'm sure that this will be on the slide as well, but I forgot to click ahead one. I don't want to make everything erase. Good morning.
Good one.
What is this? What are these three all have in common? What's the one word that you see in all three of these? Millions. Right, AJ. So these are your millions place. Okay. And your next one. Whoa. What is this one? What's the common word for all three of these place values? Thousands. Good, Kelly. So go ahead and write this in your notes. You have the little brackets. Write it above your little bracket.
And then the next one will be hundred.
Actually, it's going to be ones.
What?
Yep. So, you see how it's separated by the commas? Each of these? That's the ones, the thousands, the millions. Okay? Now, there's one more thing to remember, and you don't have to write this down, okay? But when I was relearning this, because I learned this probably back in elementary school too, but I had to refresh myself before I taught it, it does look a little interesting to me. It seems interesting that on the left side it says ones, but on the right side it says tenths. Why doesn't it say once right here? Does anybody know? Because I didn't know before I...
So second from smallest. Second to biggest number.
Second to biggest number? Okay, so hold on real quick. When we're working with these over here... Hold on, Cody. I'll come back to you. When we work with tenths, that is like... That's 1/10, right? This fraction. Go ahead and write this in your note. 1/10, so you know what this looks like. And then over here, we've got 1 over 100. That's 1/100th, right? Now, if this was the ones place, it doesn't exist, so don't get confused by it. But if we had a ones place, that would be the same as writing some number over 1, right? Just like we have the 10 on the bottom in the denominator here. So what is this equal to? 1 over 1. A whole number. 1 over 1 equals 1. So there's no point to have a ones place because it's just going to end up being a 1 on the left side of the decimal. Okay? You don't need to write that part. Just know that there is no ones place. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Does everybody have that written down? Everything that's written here you should have on your notes. Yeah, Cody, what's up? Yes, thanks for asking. Does everybody have it written? Can I move on?
Yeah.
No? Alex, can you catch up in a little bit? Okay. Okay, see. If I'd been working with this one, it would have looked exactly like yours. Okay. And I didn't have to write it. That's nice to know. Okay. Wow. Okay, real quick. This isn't in your note sheet, right?
No.
What place value is this in?
Ones.
Ones place. Yeah. How about this?
Thousands.
Thousands. Good. You guys are working quickly. You're good. How about
The tenths.
tens? Good. So this is, if we forget about all the other numbers here, except for, or everything to the left, that's worth 30, right? Right, Keelan?
Yeah.
30.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about, what place is this in? This other
Tenths.
Nope. Hundredths. If you're forgetting, and I don't know why you guys don't do this, but on your test you have all these notes to help you. You know, you copy it down correctly. Make sure you're using your notes as your reference when you're doing homework, when you're doing quizzes, okay? Because you'll get the right answer if you're using your notes, okay? What is this place?
That's 10,000.
Thousandths.
No, that's 10,000.
Remember, because this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Thousandths. Yeah. Okay. Does everybody get that? I can move on. Everybody got it? Why are you looking at me like that? Dacia's opening her eyes wide. Okay, next one. Go ahead and copy these down.
Where am I putting that?
The box.
Oh.
Yeah, at the bottom. So these are the steps that you need to know. Now, you don't need to memorize them because you can always use your notes on your stuff, but you need to make sure you go through each of these steps every time you're doing problems like we're going to do today, which we'll move on in the back in just a second. So what we're doing today is turning decimals into fractions. Okay, so we just went over place values and everything. We need to be able to know how to determine the place value of a number in a decimal in order to be able to convert it to a fraction. And that's the goal of today. You're learning how to convert decimals into fractions. So the first step in order to turn a decimal into a fraction is you need to determine the place value of the last digit in the decimal. So, sorry. I was checking to see if it had anything else on that slide. So let's do, we're not going to do this just yet.
Well, I'll be writing a fraction if we're trying to figure out 1, 10, 1,000.
You'll see in just a minute. Yeah, Cody. That's right. So in order to turn a decimal into a fraction, you have to first determine the place value of the last digit in the decimal. What's the last digit in this decimal? Is it 0 or 7? 7. So I'm going to go ahead and underline your 7. And actually, you don't have to do this because we're about to do like 6 examples of exactly this, but I want to be able to explain this and do it. 6 examples is nothing, I swear. It's not hard. I promise. 6. Sometimes you do 10. Okay? So we already determined the place value of the last digit. Actually, we figured out what the last digit was. Now we need to determine the place value. What is this? Is it? It's not ones because these are the ones, tens, thousands over here, or hundreds, thousands. So what is this place value? Tenths. Good, Kyle. So what I'm going to do is draw an arrow right here and write tenths. No, you don't have to write this. I just want you to pay attention so that these words mean something to you, okay? So I'm going step by step. We determined the place value of the last digit in the decimal. This is the last digit in the decimal. Kyle just told me this is the place value. So now we know the place value. Now it says write a fraction using the decimal without the decimal point as the numerator and the place value is the denominator. Does that make any sense to you? Probably not. That's a lot of words. Okay, so I'm going to write my equal sign over here. It says write a fraction, so I'm going to draw my fraction bar using the decimal without the decimal point. So write the fraction using the decimal as the numerator. So I'm going to put 7.
No.
Are you able to wait till after this part? Okay. Okay, so we put, if there are any zeros, this is important to remember, guys. If there are any zeros to the left of this number here, we don't need to write them here. It doesn't change the value. If there are zeros to the right of it, it does change the value, right? This is like 70 cents. We don't need to know it's $0.70. It's just 70 cents, okay? So write the decimal without the decimal point on top, right, as the numerator. And the place value is the denominator. Now, Kyle told us the place value is the tenths, so I'm going to put 10 on the bottom. Okay, so I just converted a decimal into a fraction, and that's all you did, okay?
Are we done with the,
So, again, one more time, all you did was use the rightmost number in the decimal, put it as the numerator, and put the place value on the bottom. And this can't reduce, so that's the answer. Okay, 7/10. Huh? 7/10. Yeah, that can't reduce, right? Because 7 is an odd number, and it's a prime number, actually. That's what's more important, right? Okay. What? No, we're going to go faster now, okay? That part of the lesson, that's like all what you need to know.
What you looking for in this?
Kaylin, hold on. That's all you need to know, like the depth of it. Now we're just going to get some practice so that when you're doing your homework, you can have something to look back on. Yeah, you got homework to do. Homework after a math lesson? That's so unlike this class.
That's crazy.
So what y'all looking for? You looking for like the word, or you looking for like 90%?
We're looking for the fraction.
Oh,
Guys, listen up, please.
so it's gonna be like 9 over 100. That's what you looking
It's
for?
going to be like that. That's not actually the answer, which is okay. Okay, hold on, guys. Let's get quiet. Okay, so looking back at your notes, what is the first thing we need to do in order to convert this decimal? Find what place it's in. So I'm going to underline the 9. And Kaylon, what is the place value of that?
10.
Tenths. Yeah, I heard someone else say it too.
This,
Good job, both of you. What do I... And then what? What's next?
and then you write 9 over 10.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
it.
you put this number in the numerator and you put this number in the denominator. Okay?
Yeah, so basically, like if that's your 10 spot, you just put 10 below it
Yeah.
and you write that number on top.
But remember, it's the tenths.
Alright.
Okay? But we are just writing 10 here because this reads... How does this read? What do you say?
90%.
I mean, what is it? 9/10. Okay?
But it still come out to be 90 cents.
Actually, it's 90 cents. You're right. 90 cents. Yes. So, 90 cents, that's the same as this.
Yeah.
We don't ever look at money in fractions, do we? Okay, we look at money like this.
Yeah.
So this is 90 cents. This is equivalent to 90 cents. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which, that is the real world application of this lesson. Okay? Which I don't know if you care about that, but I remember in math class, people would say, why do we need to learn this? It's useless. It's definitely not
I
useless.
want to ask you about that one. I care about the money.
Huh?
I hope you have rulers.
Rulers? For what?
Cause they they have you can buy so much items. They have some items cost this change because they're very cheap,
Right.
but it all adds up.
Right. Okay. Can 9/10 reduce? No.
Yeah.
No,
Mm-mm.
it says
Whoa.
Me?
Why can't it reduce?
Alright,
We're gonna get to that in just a second. Okay, and one simple step I added to those 3 steps of how you convert a decimal to a fraction. So go back, turn over to the front sheet. Below number 3, go ahead and write 4 and write check. Under number 3. Check with calculator, actually. Bless you. Okay. Does everyone have that? Sorry for my awful handwriting. I'm trying to be quick for you guys. Nope.
I'm gonna get these.
Okay, example 2. Example 2. So the first thing we have to do is what? What was it, Daisha? The 17. So the first step says determine the place value of the last digit in the decimal, which is the 7. So go ahead and underline your 7. What place value is the 7? What is it? AJ, I heard you. Hundredths. Okay? So go ahead and write hundredths underneath.
So then you gonna do 17 over 100.
So, Kaylon, we took the decimal without the decimal point, and we put it in the numerator, and then we put the place value as the denominator. So we did step number 2 already. What's step number 3? Look on. No, hold on. Look, reduce. Can 17 over 100 reduce?
no.
No. Okay, now David, do me a favor. Since we're going to do step number 4 now, we're going to check with the calculator. So all you have to do 17. How about everybody does this actually? Get your calculator out.
What?
Type in 17 divided. Yeah. We can't. We're checking right now. This is the 4th step. What's 17 divided by 100? What is it, AJ? 0.17. Is that this number? Yeah. So that means you did your math correctly. If your calculator, after you punch in 17 divided by 100, if your calculator looks like this, that means you did all the math correctly. Okay? Do you remember last triad when we plotted the points? And if you had three dots in a row and then a random point over here, you knew something was wrong? So when you punched this in, you knew you did something wrong and you needed to go back and fix something. This is the same thing. When you punch this into your calculator and it doesn't look like this, then you did something wrong. Okay? Example 3. And I'm just kidding. Note on reducing, if the fractions can be reduced, it can always be reduced by...
1.
That's not really reducing. Because if we do 5 divided by 1,
So then it's like 5.
that's 5. That's not reducing though.
What about on there? 5.
It's going to be 2
Oh.
or 5.
Yeah, I do.
Good job. Yeah. So the reason it's 2 or 5 is because whenever we're working with these fractions, we've got 10 on the bottom, we've got 100, 1,000, or whatever. 2 goes into 10, always. 5 goes into 10, always. Same as 100, right? So if it can be reduced, the number on the top also has to be reduced by 2 or 5, if it can be.
So it's like rounding.
Rounding? Mm-mm. That's not rounding. It's just reducing. Okay. So, I'm going to look at the last digit in the decimal, which is the 8. And, Jaden, can you tell me what place value that's in? 10,000ths. Right? Because we've got tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So I'm going to write 10,000ths. So,
You rewrite all that.
what, Kelly, can you tell me what my fraction looks like?
8 over.
We need all 4 of those numbers. So it's going to be 6128 over what? 10,000, right. Now this can definitely be reduced, right? Because we have an even number on the top, and obviously that's always even. Okay? So, in your calculator, a super complicated, not complicated, it's not complicated, a super long way of doing this is doing it by hand, dividing top and bottom by 2 and figuring that out. That's a super long way because you're going to have to do it several times. Or, we can skip that, and someone punch 6128 and then use your fraction button over 10,000. Tell me what you get.
So this is the fraction but the ABC?
Yep.
Well, it's the same.
No, you need to use your fraction button, not the division button, the fraction button. Because if you use the division button, you're going to get this. Which, I mean, we can't write 0.6128 equals 0.6128 because that's not converting. Huh?
I said, mine gonna put all the zeros in.
Did somebody get it? Yeah. 383. It is a weird number. Over 625. Does everyone understand how to do that on their calculator? Raise your hand if you don't. Please don't be embarrassed if you don't, because I will come around and show you. Okay. And I'm going to show you too, Kyle, real quick. So I'm going to take... Guys, I know I'm not talking to you, but you need to be quiet. Okay? So I'm going to punch 6128 in. And then instead of pressing divide, I'm going to press that ABC button. You know that for fractions?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to punch in the denominator, 10,000, 1, 2, 3. And that gives you 383 over 625.
Oh, I know this one.
Okay? Alright. And now, go ahead and punch instead of the fraction button, you can do 6128 divided by 10,000, and that's going to give you this, right? Okay, we good? What's different about this one?
It has a 2 in front of it.
It has a 2 in front of the decimal point and a 5 behind it. Okay, so we need to determine the place value of the last digit. What's the last digit in this number? 5, Deja, good. What's the, Kaylon, I heard it, tenths. So what's my fraction going to look like?
5 over 10.
Kyle, what do you think?
It's just a guess, but is it 2 tenths?
Mm-mm.
Want to be 5 over 10?
Mm-mm. Nope. So what's the second step? It says write a fraction using the decimal without the decimal point. You don't just leave off that 2. Remember, you only ignore numbers to the left if they're zeros. 25 over 10. You're so passionate, Kaylon. Okay? So always use this as your denominator, right? And this is your numerator. This can be reduced. So you can either punch it into your calculator like we just did it. Divided by what?
5 ABC.
Huh? 5, yes. So I'm just going to do it by hand because it's quick and the numbers are small, unlike the 10,000s. 25 divided by 5 is 5, like Mike said. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So it's 5 halves. This is an improper fraction, as you know.
Skip number example 6.
No. This is an improper fraction, right? Which I know you're probably not used to, but we are actually looking for that, okay? Because we want this decimal converted into a fraction. Only 2 more, yep. We'll go do them quickly since you know what you're doing now. 5 is the last digit in the decimal. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So, Cody, what does my fraction look like? What's on top? What's the numerator? Yeah, nice. So Cody ignored the zeros to the left of the 6. And Danielle, what's the denominator?
One over 16.
10,000. So you write the place value as the denominator. Someone go ahead and punch into your calculator with the fraction button 625 over 10,000. What was it? Yeah. It's 1/16. That's your answer because you can't reduce that anymore, right? Because there's a 1 on top.
What's this? Here's the next.
On your phone, man?
Could you put your backpack under your desk for me, please? Thank you. Okay. Alex, what's the last digit in this decimal? 5, yeah. And what place value is it in? Yeah. Don't sound so uncertain. You almost always give me the right answer. Okay, so Mackenzie, can you tell me what the numerator is? No? Who knows? What's the numerator?
Would it be 2 over 10?
No, it'll be 12. It'll be 125
Perfect.
over 10.
125 over 10. Remember, because we're ignoring the decimal point, and we're putting it on top. Now punch it into your calculator. I'm going to do this by hand, though.
25 over 2.
25 over 2. Nice. And that's the last one.
Let's go.
You still got a worksheet. So yours